This is Inside Texas Politics with Jason Whiteley on WFAA.
Time now for Reporters Roundtable to put the headlines in perspective. Ross, Berna Dean, and Bud are with us each week. Berna Dean, of course, Channel 8's political producer. Ross, we're starting with you, though. In the big news a couple of days down in Austin, Apple announcing the big expansion there, a $1 billion investment, thousands of jobs, and this is partly due to the Texas Enterprise Fund, which a lot of conservatives were taking a shot at. Does this now ensure the fund's survival in the next session?
I don't think this will threaten the fund's survival, right off the bat. It's going to be one of the things that's in trouble. The legislature is looking for a lot of money. They're trying to rebalance the school finance system, and they don't want to raise taxes. And one of the places they'll look at is incentives like this and tax exemptions and those kinds of things. I don't think it'll affect deals that have already been made, but it could affect future deals like this. And
Berna Dean, I would think that Governor Abbott would have a pretty good argument for keeping this now after he can just brag on Apple coming here.
I think he would have an excellent argument because it's creating jobs. And that is what's most definitely needed. But this fund is always looked at in terms of getting rid of. But I think that Abbott would have a very good argument.
And Bud, go ahead. You're about to say it before I ask the question.
Jason, this is a $25 million outlay in exchange for $1 billion economic boost for Texas. It's a great deal. You have the Amazon Air coming to Alliance. I mean, all of Alliance was put there with help of incentives. The incentive funds bring business to Texas. What's important is that it came to Texas. It didn't go to California, it didn't go to another state. Apple is bringing jobs and success.
And Ross, of course, the big question is, outgoing State Senator Connie Burton was one of those who was against this. There's still conservatives who are against it, right?
Well, I think they will always.
Well, there's still a number of people that are against these things, but I think Bud's got a point and Berna Dean has a point. This is a successful deal, and you look at it and you say, what about this do you not like?
Berna Dean, go ahead. You're about to add.
No, I was just going to say that too. How can you argue against success? And this has proven that it can be very successful.
Well, you can argue it was on the Republican primary ballot as one of their referenda. Nobody likes to give government handouts, but you have to compete with other states. If they wipe them out for every state in the country, then you could draw the line. But right now, as long as states compete, states will give incentives.
And Bud, let's switch back to you on a different topic here as well, too. A thinner GOP majority in the Texas Senate. Any Republican can now make or break a bill, essentially. How does this impact Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick and his agenda?
Right. Well, now the one-seat change in the Senate means that Dan Patrick needs all the Republicans to move any bill forward. It takes a 3/5 majority to move a bill forward. So any of the Republicans in the Senate can vote with the Democrats and deep six any bill. Any bill can be 86 if one Republican doesn't like it. This just means that Lieutenant Governor Patrick's going to have to do some horse trading. He's going to need to get a Democrat to come over to his side. Senator Lucio came over to the Republican side often when it was a 2/3 margin. Now it's a 3/5 rule. I think Dan Patrick will just have to work a little harder.
A little more politicking, Berna Dean.
Very much more so. And he has lost some who would campaign for him for those particular issues. But not only is he going to have to work harder to maintain the Republican votes, but he's going to have to work harder to even get Democrats on those votes where he doesn't have the majority Republican.
And Ross, how hard will that be, do you think? He's a former member of that of the body out there. Now he's up there on the podium.
Most of the votes in the Texas Senate are not on party lines. They're on other lines, and you've got to negotiate now in a way that you didn't before. Dan Patrick could rely on a very solid Republican majority last session. This session is less solid. He's going to have to do some talking.
And Jason, rural Republicans are the ones who are happy about this. Republicans who represent districts like Kelseligers and Amarillo say now the urban Republicans won't be able to run over rural Texas.
But it is going to be very interesting to see Dan Patrick have to negotiate.
And it will be just a few weeks away when the legislature, the gavel falls in Austin. Thank you guys very much. We appreciate it. Thank you for watching as well. ABC's This Week begins here in just a moment on Channel 8. We'll see you again next Sunday. Hope you have a good week.